Today, we've got some exciting news about the rapid demand for Nvidia AI GPUs and how it caused a severe TSMC CoWoS advanced packaging production capacity shortage. So, stick around to learn more about this game-changing development and what it means for the future of AI GPUs. Rapid demand sparked shortage in TSMC CoWoS packaging capacity for Nvidia AI GPUs. Suppose you're wondering about the rapid demand for Nvidia AI GPUs, which caused a severe TSMC CoWoS advanced packaging production capacity shortage. Recently, TSMC's President Wei Zizhou revealed that they received requests to expand CoWoS capacity from clients during a conference call. Their plans are ambitious. They aim to have a total CoWoS capacity of more than 120,000 pieces in 2023 and rush to 240,000 by 2024. Nvidia is expected to receive a significant share of this capacity, around 144,000 to 150,000 pieces. TSMC's ambitious plans, expanding CoWoS capacity to meet growing demand for AI GPUs. To meet the increasing demand, TSMC has taken steps to cope with the expansion of CoWoS production capacity. They moved some info production capacity to Nankai and want to expand CoWoS capacity in Longtan. The company is actively promoting various programs to respond to customers' immediate needs due to the severe shortage of CoWoS packaging capabilities for AI GPUs. TSMC faces invitation to build advanced packaging facilities in the US and Japan. In the semiconductor equipment supply chain, there are invitations to TSMC from the US and Japan to build advanced packaging facilities near fabs under construction in both countries. However, without an encapsulation facility in these locations, the final packaging of chips will still need to be done in Taiwan, which affects the local production targets. TSMC's exciting factory plans in Kumamoto, Japan, aim to address capacity concerns. TSMC has exciting plans for a factory in Kumamoto, Japan, which is expected to start operations by the end of 2024. The chairman of TSMC, Lu Dayin, mentioned that they've purchased land for the first factory while the site for the second factory is still being collected. The second factory in Japan is likely to be geared towards a mature process to address customers' concerns about TSMC's current mature process capacity. Subsidy issue and global reports. Regarding the subsidy issue of TSMC's second factory in Japan, the chief of the Information Industry section of the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry of Japan mentioned that they are considering the matter and intend to fight for the budget. Some reports have said subsidies received by TSMC from the United States and Germany. Semiconductor giants in regional investments. Intel, GlobalFoundries, and TSMC have been involved in discussions and investments in different regions. TSMC's investments in Kumamoto, Japan, and relayed subsidies from the Japanese government have been progressing well without disputes. Compared to its investments in the US and Germany, TSMC's investment in Japan is seen as more driven by its own will. TSMC recognizes its weakness in semiconductor equipment and materials, which are mainly dominated by European, American, and Japanese companies. TSMC's joint venture with Sony Spurs expansion plans in Japan's semiconductor industry. After TSMC established a joint venture with Sony, they've observed expansion plans from over 10 local semiconductor-related companies in Japan, such as Tokyo Electron Tel, Ibara Precision, and Sumco. However, at first, TSMC didn't plan to manufacture chips in Europe and the US due to higher costs and cultural differences. Their investment plans in Germany are still pending, and the Arizona, USA factory has faced delays in mass mass production due to several issues. Intel and GlobalFoundries disapprove of subsidies granted to TSMC, citing market distortion. Intel and GlobalFoundries expressed dissatisfaction with the subsidies TSMC received from the US and European governments, arguing that it distorts market competition and creates risks like dependency on a single supplier. TSMC's fab in Arizona faces delays and skill shortages. TSMC's fab in Arizona, USA, countered delays in mass production due to challenges in handling and installing advanced equipment. Insufficiently skilled professionals have slowed down the factory's progress. TSMC is actively addressing this by deploying experienced personnel from Taiwan and training local technical staff. Additional personnel from Taiwan will support the project to expedite progress. The mass production schedule for the 4nm process was postponed to 2025. Union leader counters TSMC's hiring strategy, advocates for local workers. The leader of one of the largest unions in Arizona countered TSMC's explanation for wanting to hire low-wage foreign labor, seeing it as an excuse. Aaron Butler, president of the Arizona Construction Trade Association, emphasized that Arizona workers have decades of experience in Intel fabs and possess the necessary technology and skills for TSMC's project. He criticized TSMC for not clearly stating the specific skills lacking in local workers or providing essential training. TSMC's copying ability compared to Intel's copy exactly strategy comes under scrutiny. Overseas media Tom's Hardware noted that TSMC lacks the same copying ability as Intel's copy exactly strategy, which is globally available to create similar fabs. TSMC's advanced wafer foundry in Arizona faced difficulties due to differences in manufacturing strategies, which isn't entirely surprising. TSMC addresses delayed mass production and plans for skilled professional deployment. In response, TSMC clarified that their Arizona plant is in a critical stage requiring skilled precision equipment professionals. They'll temporarily second professionals from Taiwan for specific support, but the number of relocated staff will be limited and short-term to fulfill particular missions. Local staffing of 12,000 on-site won't be affected as TSMC prioritizes hiring local Arizonans. They reaffirmed their commitment to creating local jobs and providing a reliable working environment. TSMC's project in Japan seems smoother due to relevant subsidies and support from Taiwanese employees, which contrasts with the situation in the US. And that completes our video for today. We hope you enjoyed learning the incredible updates of TSMC. Which of them are you most excited about? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Tech Bros for more content such as this.